Yo, what is going on, guys? Flashverse here, and welcome back to another video on The Flash Season 7. And this will be another theory video for you guys in regards to the possible main villain for the first part of The Flash Season 7. So after the Mirror Master story has come to an end, and that villain obviously being Godspeed. Now, the reason I'm saying possible main villain is because it's obviously not been 100% confirmed yet. Although we had massive teasers in regards to this character, it's not 100% official just yet. But before I go over anything, however, you guys don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you are aware of more Arrowverse content coming your way. So during DC Fandome, we obviously got some massive teasers in regards to the Flash as a whole. And one very interesting thing that we got revealed obviously has to do with Godspeed. Since Godspeed was name dropped as a main villain when they're talking about The Flash Season 7, and not just that, but how Eric Wallace is talking about how he wants fans to see their age of villains and to expand that Flash fan community in regards to the TV show by not only having those Bronze Age and Silver Age villains, but the current villains as well. And also during September the 12th, we will be having a second DC Fandome, and this will be all about the DC TV shows only, so nothing about the movies, and we will be getting a full 40-minute panel instead of the 15-minute panel that we got during the first DC Fandome for The Flash. So we will definitely be getting more information in regards to The Flash Season 7 over there. Now, this part wasn't in the panel, but a while back we also got the reveal that we will be getting the original Godspeed to appear for this season and will apparently have a massive role to play within Season 7. And that was when Eric Wallace was obviously asked if we would see the original Godspeed for this season. He said something along the lines of, yes, because that's the direction we're heading. And they will probably tie up those mysteries that's been established with this Godspeed clones, and the We Want Your Speed and the One Who Sent Me. All of those mysteries will finally be solved. And this pretty much alludes to the fact that Godspeed will be the main villain for one of our graphic novels for Season 7, which, thank God, because we will finally be getting a proper Speedster villain after God knows how many non-Speedster villains that we had. Now, I'm not saying those non-Speedster villains were bad. Clifford Devoe and Bloodwork were really good villains, but it's about time since we got a Speedster villain, because it's been so long since we had a proper Speedster main antagonist. Now, in regards to the panel, we obviously got some more interesting stuff revealed, so be sure to check out my other Flash Season 7 videos I have covered in regards to DC Fandome if you haven't already. There are very interesting stuff that I talk about over there, and I will link them all in the description down below, just in case you guys are interested in checking them out. But anyways, for this video, I'll be going over this theory on whether the real Godspeed could potentially be revealed as Eddie Thawne. So the original Godspeed has pretty much been confirmed to be our main villain for The Flash Season 7. And although in the comics he's seen more of an anti-hero, it seems like they're going to change it up for the show and make him look like a main villain who's obsessed with speed. Now, I am aware in the Flash comics August Hart is Godspeed. I do know that. However, the CW's Arrowverse do tend to change things a lot with their characters, such as Savitar, for example. Savitar was never Barry Allen in the comics, but they changed it to Barry Allen in the show. So they can always change things for the story that they want to tell. But what we also know is that August Hart was already in the Flash TV show. We saw him in Season 5, Episode 18. So with all that mystery being established with the Godspeed characters, I highly doubt that this August Hart is the original Godspeed for the show. I just don't see that happening. And not just that, but we saw that version of Godspeed, August Hart Godspeed, get defeated so easily by a rookie Speedster. Not just that, but that August Hart in the Arrowverse uses V9 to artificially connect to the Speedforce. And as we saw from the other versions of Godspeed, that's not the case. The clone versions of Godspeed are clearly more advanced than this August Heart, and they have way better abilities than August Heart, and they're just more powerful by the way we saw it. So that's why I don't think that the original Godspeed sending out all these Godspeed clones is actually the August Heart we saw in Season 5, Episode 18. Now, I know Crisis could have changed things up. Maybe this new August Heart could look different. Maybe he's more powerful. Maybe something like that could happen. But I just don't see that happening. So a theory idea that came into my mind is that could Eddie Thawne potentially be Godspeed? Now, as ridiculous as it sounds, there is a very solid point you can make that could really support this theory idea. And for that, I will reiterate into a segment within The Flash Season 7 synopsis. So it goes on to say, the Flash will ultimately defeat Mirror Master, but in doing so, he'll unleash an even more powerful and devastating threat on Central City, one that threatens to tear his team and his marriage apart. Now, this is the key piece of evidence over here. The fact that Godspeed is revealed to be the main villain for this Flash Season 7, but then the synopsis itself goes on to say that this villain will tear his team and specifically mentioned his marriage apart. And that just doesn't sound like Godspeed. Like, what has August Heart got to do with tearing up Barry and Iris's marriage? Which is why I don't see that they will make August Heart the original Godspeed. I think he's one of the fake ones as well. Because the fact that this synopsis is mentioning Barry and Iris's marriage alludes to the fact that it's someone who has a very personal connection to both Barry and Iris. And in my eyes at least, there is only one person who can do that. Eddie Thawne. Now, I am well aware everyone, including myself, would rather prefer a Cobalt Blue story to play around with Eddie Thawne. That would be a better solution other than making him Godspeed. However, again, this is just a theory and is by no means true. So they could do something along the lines of explaining how Eddie Thawne comes back to life. So maybe that singularity that took him in Season 1 takes him all the way to the future by some chance, and someone possibly revives him or something like that. And they explain how he's given Speedster abilities as well. And then they could do something where Eddie still has his memories and he's someone who's ended up as Speedster in the future. And with that being said, Eddie would obviously be well aware of the things that took place in the past, so the Flash's timeline. And he'll find out that the Flash was always praised and everything like that. And yet, although he was the true savior during the Flash Season 1, he was never called a hero. So with the Flash taking all the credit, this would obviously anger Eddie so much and build up this hatred for the Flash. Adding on to that, he then finds out that Barry obviously took the woman he loved as well. So everything Eddie basically once had is now on Barry's hands. So Eddie wants to take everything the Flash had in return. So obviously he would begin with sending in these Godspeed clones, and although those clones have developed and have become more advanced, they have still failed Eddie. So now it's his turn to clean up the mess and take everything from the Flash. Hence why he probably says, "We deserve your speed." That's probably why the clone says that. That would be because he's thirsty for speed, because his aim would be to take everything Barry once had, just like what Barry did to Eddie. So he begins with trying to take his speed and then slowly start to tear Team Flash apart, and then tear the West Allen marriage once he reveals himself to be Eddie Thawne and he's indeed alive. Now this would obviously, tear apart West Allen, because Iris will find out Eddie is alive and she will struggle with that as well. And the fact that the true hero of Central City is forgotten, and yet this fraud pretty much is taking all the credit, would really build up that jealousy and Eddie's motivations, which could make this a very interesting villain to play around with. Now, there is still that chance that the villain for Season 7 isn't Godspeed. They could still go for Ration if they want to tie in the Blackhole story even further. But rather, if we were to have Eddie Thawne return, it has to be Cobalt Blue. But the villain for this season will most probably be Godspeed. But as I said before, with how the synopsis of the season 7 ties into Godspeed, I just don't see how they will make it August Heart, which is why I just came up with this idea. I think it was quite interesting. And despite this video being just a theory video in regards to Godspeed, I'm still very excited for The Flash season 7. I think it will be one of the best seasons of The Flash we have had. But yeah guys, thanks for watching. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe. Tell me in the comment section down below what you guys think about this theory. Yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.